Hello, my name is Bradley and I'm your host of The Internal Game. Before I get into today's video, I want to read a couple success stories that I have from the one-on-ones that I do. I just want to read a couple and then we'll get into the video, and we'll just do this from time to time. But I love seeing this stuff. It's amazing. I love doing the one-on-ones, so thank you all for doing that. But here we go. I came across the Internal Game channel about a month ago. I don't typically sway away from the 1 to 2 channels I listen to, but I was on a walk and something caught my eye with the title Leveling Up, and I'm listening to this guy talk and make a Mad Libs reference from Eugene Stutters talking about a whole nother level. I'm like, all right, this guy has humor. I'm intrigued. I keep listening. So I have been listening to the Law of Assumption info for over 8 years, just finding deeper and deeper levels of comprehension and knowledge, thanks to Tom, Kieran, and Eric with Power of I Am channels. Huge fan of Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy and Reverend Ike and Bashar and Abraham Hicks, so I'm well versed in this lingo and familiar with the verbiage. But, as we all have experienced, some teachers have a way of saying the same thing another one does, but it just hits differently. I heard something in that first video from Bradley that just hit differently, and I heard it loud and clear. After one session with Bradley, I have seen great results in my life. I had a health thing, and I chose to choose a new being. I was walking and listening to his I Am Healthy video a week ago, and as he was talking, I was imagining I was walking out of my old self like snakeskin falling off of me, and walking as my healthy me. Exactly. And the next morning, the condition in my body disappeared. I was always healthy, but I was believing an illusion that I wasn't. So I love that. Now I am just not settling for anything less than my leveling up self. I am the best. I walk like I'm the best. I started to tell myself the new story no matter what I was seeing, because Bradley somehow helped me see that the only reason I see what I do is because I was giving it life and attention. I continued to keep listening to Bradley's videos and then found myself scheduling a one-on-one because I wanted to ask some questions for his take on the subject. Bradley's take is so easy to hear. I have literally walked from one reality into another, knowing I am doing so, with health and my biz. Bradley said that when you say my biz is booming, they hear you. They being everyone that needs to fulfill who that new me is being. Exactly. And boy, is my biz just overnight went from barely to, oh my God, clients and realtors are calling me left and right for home loans in a time that is supposed to be slow, but not when you know what we know. My biz is booming always. My bank account is overflowing always. So then I applied it to health. Was having conditions in the body, so I decided to say my cells are listening. Cells, you are always healthy and perfectly functioning. I am leveling up every day and feeling it too. Bradley has such a way of delivering the same info that we know, but I can hear it so easily with him. So genuine, so sincere, and now I look forward to his daily videos. Life-changing. Hell yeah. That's good stuff. Man, that business booming thing, I got that from Sammy Ingram like 4 years ago or something, like, because I took a long break off of watching Law of Assumption videos, but I remember back in the day, I remember her saying that, and like it was so hard for me to believe that you could just say something like that. I didn't really get it back then, but now, and when you're coming from I'm the best, type of self concept, and knowing, that being that you are, when you say things like that or tell a new story about how business is booming and healthy and stuff like that, it just naturally happens. So, I can see even in the how she says, I decided to talk to my cells. Like that's amazing, because I don't think that we even really went over that. We were talking about like the world hears your thoughts. So I think that she got it at that point, and she was able to talk to her cells. And I love the health ones, man. I love all of it, but yeah, that's good stuff. So yeah, amazing. I love how she said that I just walking in a healthy me. I was falling for an illusion that I wasn't healthy. That's good stuff. All right, one more, and then we'll get to the video. Okay. Bradley, my brother in tribe, I'm well, thanks. Couldn't help but laugh out loud. Felt a bit crazy for it. For about 2 days after our call, when I realized just how much power and control was in my hands, just by changing my thoughts, I started to really focus on my inner conversations. It worked. It works. On both smaller things and larger matters too. My next door neighbor had allowed some cardboard and paper packaging, etc., to blow over from their driveway to mine. I was always having to pick up the litter that blows onto my driveway, and I was fed up. So I just started having inner conversations for about 3 days. At this time, they would pick up the litter, which had blown on my driveway and which had laid there for about a week. Woke up this morning to find everything had been cleaned up from my driveway. That's never happened before. Also, the person I had dated, spent time with, and I hadn't heard from in close to 2 weeks, sent me a text message about a day after me and you spoke. Funny thing is, I didn't really do inner conversations about this person. More than anything, I detached from him because my self-worth concept became so heightened. I'll definitely continue with the inner conversations. It's fun to see it work. Thank you so much for everything, and I hope you're looking after yourself too. See, that one, I remember the call was kind of based around like relationships and things like that, and a person that she brought up that was like, what happened with this kind of thing, right? And so when I read the email, it was so cool to see that she had realized that inner conversation is just on like the trash pickup next door, right? And she's like, wow, I didn't realize that. And then when she's like working on her self-concept at the same time, knowing who she actually is, right? Dude calls, dude reaches out, of course, you know. And then she's able to be like, wow, like I didn't realize how much power I have. And that's like that's the main thing that we're trying to realize here. Once we realize that, everything else can become fun and a game and not be taken too seriously, because you know that you can change it, you know? Okay, so on to today's video. So Eckhart Tolle has a quote that says, what you think the world is withholding from you, you are withholding from the world. Right? You've heard me say many times that there are no others, everything's connected. And inflow, or inside first, outside second. Outflow determines inflow. Inflow, it's just like everything's connected. So the thing about the human self is that it can be selfish sometimes, and we want, and if we fall for this illusion that we're not already abundant, or like in the success story where she said, I was falling for the illusion that I was unhealthy. I was believing that I wasn't healthy. Like, that's it, right? So like when we fall for these things, that love is on the outside, that abundance is on the outside, that safety, security is on the outside, then we want things to make us feel safe, secure, and happy, and all that stuff on the inside. And that's not how it works, really. So we're constantly wanting. And then we kind of get into that whole, oh, you don't understand, like, if I just had this, if I just had that, so-and-so did this. Try this. What you think the world is withholding from you, you're withholding from the world. If you want love, go give love. And I'm being serious, people. Try this. Try this. If I'm wrong, comment. Try it for a week, whatever, and come back to the video, comment, and tell me how wrong I am. If it doesn't work. What you think the world is withholding from you, you're withholding from the world. If you want compliments, go give them. If you want money, give it. With a sincere heart. If you want love, go give love. Marianne Williamson, that's how I was actually going to start this video, with that quote, but I can tie it whatever. So she said, we're not held back by the love that we didn't receive in the past, but by the love that we're not extending in the present moment. And what she means by that is, like, we can tell ourselves, oh, my mom didn't love, I did this for a long time, like, oh, my mom abandoned me, my mom did this, my mom did that, like, my mom didn't love me like I needed to be loved, my dad was never there, grandma died when I was 13, grandpa found somebody else, pap raised me. It doesn't matter. Like, we can come up with all this reason as to why we can't love right now. But really, it's not why we can't love right now. It's why we can't feel love right now. Like, that's what we're saying. Oh, I never got it. I never felt, I feel this way now. Like, and then what happens, people? What happens? Tell me if you guys do this. You get in a relationship, or you start liking somebody, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I double texted them. Like, what if that looks like I'm too clingy? Okay, they waited 2 hours to text me, so do I need to wait 2 hours to text them back? Do I need to match their energy? Because I don't want them to think that like I'm this, or I'm desperate, or da da da. And you start playing these games. You know, we do it at work, we do it wherever. We're playing a game of like, I don't want to give more than I get because I don't want to look like I'm stupid, or da 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 da. And we've all been there, right? And it's because we're being in fear of being rejected, of someone telling us that like we're desperate or needy, or oh dude, there's a double text, like the internet says if you double text somebody, like that's not a good way of getting the chicks, that's not a good way of getting the guy. Like it's all stupid, right? You're not giving the love, you're not doing it ultimately, and everyone's doing it too. Like if they're on video telling you if you double text, man, that's gonna show them that you're desperate. They're scared of being rejected too. Okay, don't listen to them. So if you're scared of being rejected, then you start playing this game. But it's because you think that you're going to get the love from them, or that the love is on the outside, or that the acceptance is on the outside, or that someone choosing you is on the outside. Play this game. Give whatever you think that you think you're missing. Because you can't give what you don't have, right? Right? You can't give what you don't have. So when you start freely giving the love, the compliments, the appreciation for life and others, you'll realize that you're able to give it because you have it inside of you already. Getting Christmas presents are cool, right? Right? Now it's Christmas time. It's pretty cool. But isn't giving them better? I'm being serious. The teenage daughter right now who like she's excited about her Christmas presents, right? But like she loves wrapping up everyone's presents and she loves getting them stuff. It's a thing. It's a thing. Like there's in giving you realize you lack nothing. But if we're scared to give it because we're scared that we're not going to receive it back, we have fell for an illusion that our love, our everything exists outside of us. And so when I get on these videos and I tell you, oh, like everything's within, this stuff is true. But if you want to find a quick, sure way of realizing this, go give what you think you're missing. Go give it. Spend a day not focused on what you can get and focus on what you can give. You're going to see that you lack nothing. That nothing's outside of you. And that all those people that we call others that we're scared of rejecting us, they are you. What you give to somebody, you give to you. What you wish for somebody, you wish for you. It's not bigger than that. You're not held back by the love that you didn't receive in the past. You are held back by the love that you are not giving or not extending in the present moment. And she goes, and Marianne Williamson goes on to say, like, you know, we all come from dysfunctional homes, like in some sort of way. But like, if we stay stuck on that story, we're never going to actually experience love, even though it exists inside of us, because we're putting a limit on ourselves, saying that we can't experience it because of something that happened. When really, if you just walk around, like Edgar says, giving what you think you're missing, you're going to see how much love that you actually have inside of you. Because you can't give what you don't have. That's why, like, people say, oh, you gotta love yourself or you can love somebody else. And it's like, it's true, and it's true, because like if you're playing games in a relationship or at work, like if you're playing games, like, oh, this person took 2 hours to text me back, so I got to take another 2 hours. That's not giving love. That means you're not open to receiving love, and whatever state you're in, you're just gonna keep playing games. You're just gonna keep this, and then you're gonna keep being fearful. When you give with no fear of getting it back, when you give with no fear of, when you give love with no, like, I don't care if they love me back. When you give compliments without, like, when you say, hey man, I really like that shirt, man, I like the way you explain things. Man, you know what? Every time you talk, I like to listen, man, because you're just a really, really solid person, and I appreciate your advice. Like when you tell somebody that, like they're gonna be like, wow, thank you for that. Like people don't see other people most of the time. They're too busy thinking about what they can get. People don't see other people most of the time. That's why people get so excited when somebody sees them. They're like, oh, wow, you thought that? Or you ever like been in the store? I do this all the time. They're like, hey, I like your shirt. That's a cool shirt. And I'm like, oh, really? And they're already ready to tell you where they got it, how much it costs. Man, you can go get you one. Like people are missing this because everyone's too focused on themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But like giving is part of this experience. It is. And it's one of them ones, man. It's just one of them teachings that like when you realize that you lack nothing. I mean, when you start giving, you'll realize that you lack nothing. Yep. Outflow determines inflow too, you know? Anyway, I really want you guys to understand that. Like, it's okay to want things. It's okay to manifest a life for yourself and a really cool experience that you want, that you choose, that you want. That's part of this game too. But giving, being there for people, showing them that you see them, loving with no expectation of getting it back, you'll realize that you have way more than enough already in here. Take a day, seriously, take a day or a week, whatever you want. Take a day and just focus on just being nice to people. Like, I don't care who it is, being nice, giving compliments, appreciation, love, everyone. Watch how good you feel. And then think about the time, like think about the days that you spent wanting, shutting everybody out because no one's giving you what you want. No one's appreciating you. No one's loving you. No one's this. No one's that. No one's this. No one's that. No one sees me. Go do that go do that to the world and watch how you feel. You're going to feel amazing, and then people are going to give this back. And then you're going to realize, oh, this is just really, really cool because I didn't need anything from anybody anyway. I can just give because I have so much of it. And then people are telling me they love me and I love them. It's just amazing. That's all I got, guys. I will see you in the next video.